Even though I don't actually think that the Calgary Flames are going to make the Stanley Cup playoffs, I still think that this is going to be a pivotal season for the franchise because we have a lot of questions to be asked about some of their prospects, how high end some of their prospects are, how certain players perform. So even though they might not make the playoffs this year, it's going to be very pivotal, especially with their draft picks. And even when you're in a season, you have to kind of see, what kind of trades are going to be made and like, can you make positive trades for your franchise in general? It's funny. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but maybe if Dustin Wolf goes off, you never really know. We're going to be getting into some signing rumors, some more trade rumors today. But guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It's obviously very, very humbling. And on this channel, I have talked about one Connor Zary. I personally am quite concerned if he misses some training camp. I've been going on and on about how pivotal of a season this is for Connor Zary. I don't want him to even miss a bit of it, because then you have another season where he hasn't played a full season in the NHL. I want him to play at least, 70 games this year. Just show that you can be healthy and be a relative top 6 producer. And honestly, I think Flames fans are going to have a hell of a player there. But we have progress being made on a contract extension for Zary, which we love to see. And here we have a very interesting quote. One of the biggest storylines for the Flames this offseason has been the fact that Connor Zary remains without a contract in place for 25-26 season and beyond. Well, this wasn't an immediate concern over the summer month. It's starting to get a bit worrisome given that training camp is set to begin later this month. The good news is, however, is that there finally seems to be progress between the two sides. And yes, this is absolutely excellent news to build off this. It's interesting, even when we talked about Elliot Friedman, who is, by the way, in my opinion, the best insider, even he was saying, it just seems that they remain apart. They remain apart, they remain apart, they remain apart. And it's kind of weird to me. I don't know, Connor Zary's contract seems a bit simple to me. I would be willing to sign him to a one-year deal. Obviously, I think the Flames want to go a bit longer than that, maybe between long and short, kind of like 3, maybe 4 years. But I think this is a pretty simple contract to get done. I honestly don't even know why it even took this long for progress to get made. But I suppose they were probably holding firm until training camp, comes up. And here we have another interesting quote. As reported by David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period on Tuesday morning, the Flames and Zary are getting closer to a contract extension. Though Pagnotta notes there is still more work to be done before pen is put to paper, it sounds as though the contract will be a 3-year term once the money is agreed upon. So this will be question of the video right now. What exactly, again, I've said this before, but I want more Calgary Flames comments on this. What exactly do you think that he's going to get? So we already know it's going to be a 3-year deal. That seems agreed upon by both sides in this contract negotiation. I think it's probably going to be around 3.5. I think that 3.5 is the safe number to put Connor Zary at. I think that he will probably outperform that contract. Albeit if he's actually healthy. It's interesting. When it comes to Connor Zary, I really like his skating stride. I think that he's a very good skater. I also think that he has a solid two-way game. This is the thing that I really like about Connor Zary, because he can skate, he can play some defense, and he can score. And you look at this player and you think to yourself, man, if he could just stay healthy, be consistent, he could be the top type of two-way forward. And I don't mean necessarily that he could be a 100-point guy. I don't think that's true. I just think that he has the potential to be a very, very solidified two-way forward in the National Hockey League. Essentially, Connor Zary can be the definition of a speedy and just versatile forward that you need in the lineup that can play up and down and really play with any type of centerman, balance out your lineup. So hopefully it gets done quickly, and I'm really, really hoping that Calgary Flames and him have a really, really good season this year, of course. And just to shift gears away from Zary, we do have more information and just more kind of news on the type of teams that are going to be good fits for Rasmus Andersson. Some of these names are kind of surprising to me, although again, if Rasmus Andersson is willing to go to almost any team, why the heck not? But here we have another really interesting quote. Despite a tough 2024 and 2025 season, Andersson still holds plenty of value as an everyday top 4 defenseman. The fact that he is right-handed helps it even more with his value, as every team in the NHL is consistently looking to add a right-shot defenseman to their roster. The quote continues, "While a trade destination remains to be seen, Adam Gretz of the Bleacher Report recently took potential fits as the Montreal Canadiens, Boston Bruins, Carolina Hurricanes, Detroit Red Wings, and the Dallas Stars as teams to keep an eye on." So, close quote. So we, again, I mean, in a perfect world for me, again, for Rasmus Andersson, I would like to see him go to the Los Angeles Kings simply because that means the Calgary Flames are going to get the most if they can convince him to go there. And I don't think it would be that hard. LA is a pretty good team. They consistently, you know, they're not a terrible franchise. I think that you can absolutely convince Rasmus Andersson to go there, and we already know that the LA Kings offered something that, quote, blow your socks off, okay? So we already know that's true. Number 2 destination for me would be the Dallas Stars. I think the Dallas Stars could really use a right shot defenseman. And at the end of the day, if you have a top 4, 22, 23 minute a night guy, if you trade him to the Dallas Stars, you're going to be able to get the most back for him because that franchise is, I mean, frankly, they're just desperate for a right shot defenseman. You know, again, it always makes me kind of go back to this. Whenever Drager said that the LA Kings offered so much for Rasmus Andersson, I have been trying to like Google this and, you know, see if I can search up exactly what was offered because, again, if Rasmus Andersson was willing to sign with the LA Kings, my God, making a really good trade with Rasmus Andersson can accelerate the Calgary Flames rebuild like crazy. If they get a lot for Andersson, if they get like a top 5 pick and, you know, hopefully Gavin McKenna, their rebuild would just be accelerated by what, at least 2 or 3 years. You know, I'm not going to say that rebuilds are all about luck. I don't think rebuilds are all about luck, but there is a contingency of just luck, right? Like, you just happen to get the right player. You know what I mean? Now, I know the Maple Leafs, for example, aren't like they're not that good in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, they got really lucky where just certain players just kind of fell to them, right? They got first overall and they got Austin Matthews as an excellent pick. You know, they were able to get Mitch Marner at a period of time. They were able to, pillage William Nylander, who I thought should have went higher in that draft. So that, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just get like a really good player that's like a franchise player and you get a couple of them all together and you just have to trust your management to make smart decisions for your organization. That's why I'll be consistent with the Calgary Flames this year. I do think that this is a year that I'm kind of walking the line. I don't want to ruin the season for the young players. I don't want to be completely terrible for the Zane Parekh and Dustin Wolf. I want them to be like relatively competitive, but I don't want them to be so competitive that it ruins their draft pick. To me, that would be like the perfect Calgary Flames season in my opinion anyway. Anyways, guys, I am going to leave this video here. If you can make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys, and make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.